What's the theme unveiled with treats and scream? Cyber-Wonderland After Dark. Sorry, Halloween is not what it seems. Cyber-Wonderland After Dark. Reviewing anime flicks. Video games are two for kicks. That you may have noticed some of the Halloween tricks. Now that October is here at last, the Halloween journey can finally embark. It's Cyber-Wonderland After Dark. And this game killed Mousetrap too. What the? Come back here with that! Stop, please! I've been robbed by a Goosebumps jack-o'-lantern! Huh? What the?
I'm rare and Halloween wizard when it comes to remaking dark games. I can fix the camera and extras on the graphics visual frames.
Wait a minute, what?
And here's the great experiment that I'm just about to achieve. I will show this remastered across the world, so go ahead, take it and leave.
Wow, thanks. The remake to the underrated Disney game happily became one of the most anticipated games of 2024, with the remake version being available to all current consoles, and people who didn't have the Wii version are finally getting a chance to play to see why it's a Mickey game worth remembering. Like any other Disney fan, I really like the first Epic Mickey, and while the second game isn't as amazing as the predecessor, I have a soft side towards it, while Power of Illusion was the only game I didn't get into that much. But with so many games getting remastered like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, Epic Mickey is one of the many games I actually wanted to see as a remake. And I've been waiting for this day ever since it was announced. Now that I look over all the Epic Mickey games from the 2010 decade, I am ready to talk about the remake to see how epic it really is. Welcome to another episode of the Wonder Reviews. It's time to show everyone the real Dark Mickey game, unlike the phony Dark Mickeys. Let's begin Cyber-Wonderland After Dark with Epic Mickey Rebrushed. We open with Mickey waking up at night hearing a strange noise behind his mirror. And seeing how this is a remake, there's already a side-by-side comparison. Yep! He gets transported into Jensen's workshop, where the sorcerer is finishing his work on making a home for forgotten tunes called Wasteland. And like the original, Mickey messed up and created a horrifying blob monster called the Shadow Blot. After escaping the workshop and becoming a celebrity years later, the Blot found the mouse and sucked him into the Wasteland to get his heart. Now Mickey must return home with the help of Gremlin Gus and the leader of Wasteland, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Seeing how this remake is basically copying the original, and I already discussed the plot of the first Epic Mickey, I'm not going to go into details on the story again. I already gave enough praise on the world building, the concept of forgotten Disney stuff, and the Mickey-Oswald relationship. Its job is to simply capture the spirit and faithfulness of the original, and it did. However, there are still some things we're discussing in the Rebrushed version, particularly the graphics. The updated backgrounds look absolutely unbelievable. They went all out on making Wasteland as gloomy and eerie as possible with each of the locations, including some of the small areas. Whenever you enter a small room like a gremlin house, there's a lot more furniture, secrets, and Easter eggs that make each location unique. The other residents of Wasteland stay true to their original looks, but now they're more expressive whenever you come across them. While some of the NPCs have some copy looks like with the pirates or lonesome ghosts, but there are a few exceptions where some of them have different color accessories like the bunny children. The enemies stay true to their menacing nature, but there are some new designs on some of the Beorg shells. Even the cartoon levels got some upgraded graphics by adding more 3D on the 2D characters and adding additional sceneries that were from the classic cartoons. And what's even more interesting is that the cartoon levels are not exactly the same walkthrough as the original. Like in Sleeping Beauty, the Maleficent Dragon now serves as an obstacle during your journey along with her dark thorns before Aurora's cottage. And at the first Plutopia level, you get to see or walk around parts of Camp Utopia before you enter the dream. It's not just the cartoon levels that look different than last time. There are new hidden locations or extra bits that we never seen before in the first game, like railroads on Mead Street Station, or pieces of Wasteland being consumed by the Shell Blot as you explore inside the creature's organs. In fact, the remake still manages to stay true to the dark atmosphere of the original. There are plenty of freaky moments that do occur during the game. Even the opening was disturbing, with the blood oozing on Mickey's bed and taking him away. It's the dark colors and dripping effects that make scenes like that and the others effective. As for the visuals like the cutscenes, they remain the same as they were in the Wii version, but with different subtitle fonts. The only exception is the Thinner disaster during the backstory, where it's now portrayed as a deadly mist instead of a tidal wave. The only real downside to the Rebrushed edition is that they still didn't include voice acting on the characters. They just reused Corey Burton's voice from the Wii game on both the beginning and the end as Yen Sid. Everything else is back to mumbling. I know voice acting can be expensive in gaming, especially to the popular ones like Jim Cummings, Frank Welker, and more, and I think it's safe to say that we don't need a lot of chattering during the gameplay like, both of you must work together to solve this problem. But here's the thing, why not just have voice acting for only the cutscenes? You don't have to give every character a voice during the regular gameplay. It saves time, money, and can really feel like the remake has fully evolved. But making the visual an eye candy is just phase 1 on recapturing the spirit of the original. The second order of business is making improvements to the gameplay. I may have only played the Wii version of the main Epic Mickey games, but I certainly got comfortable with the new controls on the current consoles. I played the Rebrushed version on the Nintendo Switch since, you know, and it turned out really great at the end. Starting off with the paintbrush powers, they separate the paint and thinner to opposite sides of the shoulder buttons, making it easier for you to decide to tune or erase objects or enemies. And if you're wondering what needs to be painted, you can use the paintbrush on some tunes with some clear outlines. Also, instead of swinging the remote with a spin attack, you can press the left action button, or on the Switch version, the Y button, to make it happen. Not to mention that you can use the spin attack to give you an extra glide during your double jump. And if you have a Guardian available for painting or thinning out some tunes, just use the front shoulder buttons to activate them and hit your target. There are some significant features that were exclusively made for the remake, the ground pound and dash, and they turn out to be very useful. Dashing can not only give you some extra speed, but it can help you dodge enemies or run away from them. While ground pound can smash down some breakable floorboards or give you a boost on some bouncy platforms. The game also allows you to take pictures like in Epic Mickey 2, but there's no side quest that you need to do with it, like finding hidden Mickeys or Oswalds. You can just take pictures around Wasteland however you like and filter it. The boss battles are still one of the most memorable parts of the game. There aren't any new moves from them except for the clock tower, where it can now smash open some boulder-shaped balls at you. And whenever you continue halfway through the game, some of the blotlings like the spatters and sweepers have gotten a bit bigger, causing you to use up more of your paintbrush powers. Even the side quests are much better than they were in the original. Like in Horace's detective work, you can just paint a square of footprints and follow the next. There are some Mickey rings during Gilda's race, and during Pete's Bunny Roundup, you can just run faster by pressing down the left analog stick. You don't have to worry about those bunny children slowing you down again. As for the game's moral system, it remains the same as the original, where every action you make reflects your journey, defeating the enemies, helping the residents, and finding animatronic body parts on Goofy, Donald, and Daisy. For the latter, the body parts will now be out in the open instead of being inside a blue chest. With the collectibles, they fully embrace that many of them are scattered all over Wasteland. The e-tickets contain a variety of colors and amount you can now collect instead of finding the usual red tickets in common places, giving you a chance to buy anything from the stores like power-ups, items, or concept arts. The Mickey pins don't unlock anything special, except you can get a clear look on the special pins you found. But the biggest upgrade with the collectibles are the concept arts and film reels. There are now 150 artworks not just on Wasteland, but inside the cartoon projections. Which means, if you find concept art inside the cartoon, you will be able to see the making of that 2D cartoon level. In addition, they decided to make the film reels more challenging by having 2 for each projection. Some are well hidden, and there's more interactivity that you must do in order to get them. Collect as much as you can so the usher can give you some prizes, but if you miss or forgot any of them on your first try, you can now enter the cinema and play the cartoon level anytime you want. Finally, for some of the hub worlds like Oztown, Ventureland, or Bog Easy, if you don't want to go back and forth to Main Street with a cartoon level, you can skip the cartoon by paying 10 e-tickets. That's a great deal! Best of all, the moment that everyone has been waiting for, they finally fixed the camera work on the first game. Now you can move it around manually with the right analog stick to help Mickey's viewpoint, and you can look at everything around you, from the dark, disturbing skies to the grand scale on some of the Wasteland locations. As for the other mechanics like the sketches, you still have the three main ones, TV, Watch, and Anvil. You can use them by pressing the front left shoulder button and use the left and right arrow buttons to switch them. And here's a cool bonus about the paint and thinner path. If you decide to take the thinner path on some important bosses or storylines, you will hear a much distorted version of the Main Street theme music on your first visit, similar to the No Mercy route in Undertale. All that's missing is a text box saying, "But nobody came." But just like the original, you won't complete everything on the first playthrough. You may have to do one or two more games of it. But even at that, I still have a wonderful time with this remake, and I would totally play again, full completion or not. Epic Mickey Rebrushed is an extraordinary remastered version that manages to outdo its own original game. It stays true to the source material as a dark Disney game featuring forgotten tunes and ideas, visual graphics that upgrade the look of Wasteland, and the gameplay and mechanics become much easier to control or navigate during the experience. We all know the answer I'm about to give. This is an absolute must-play for Epic Mickey fans. Even people that didn't play any of the games will get a kick out of this and understand why the first Epic Mickey is one of the most famous Disney video games. It's exactly amazing as I remember it, and it managed to become an epic experience the moment I started to play the remake. I give the Rebrushed edition an A, and that masterpiece deserves the Diploma of Destiny. Now there's going to be a lot of discussions about what's going to happen after Epic Mickey Rebrushed. If the remake sells really well, does that mean we'll get a remake of Epic Mickey 2? Is the door back open for that Epic Mickey 3 or other stuff like Epic Donald? Honestly, I don't know. I would love for that to happen, but there are still some paths that need to be painted in order to confirm these possible outcomes. The best we can do for now is just make the most of playing the Rebrushed version. Simply enjoy Epic Mickey Rebrushed like the other games we play in the past or present, because the game has already achieved its true single goal like the original did. Being an epic video game. I'm Matt Harpatrick, and Cyber-Wonderland After Dark has just begun! Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, check out these other videos, or feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more upcoming reviews and other projects. I'll see you soon.